Alright, so what I'm doing is I let my dough rest, and I made big balls, about an inch, inch and a half in diameter balls. You should be able to make a nice ball without it getting too sticky. If it's too sticky, you can add a little oil and some more flour. It's kind of one of those things with practice. Even I'm not perfect. And what you want to do is you want to put a little flour on your surface, and then you just want to roll it out. Roll it out. So you're going to do a couple rolls out, and then you're going to fold it over once, and do a little roll again. And do one more fold, and so I folded it over again. This kind of helps allow for some air to develop in the roti. I always learned when you make all sorts of shapes as rotis growing up, it's kind of the rite of passage of making rotis. Eventually they'll become round and beautiful and puffy like the stuff you see in restaurants. For now, they're not. Oh, one thing to know, these are rotis. So this is actually what many of us eat every day with our Indian food. We don't make naan. Like, I think people always think naan is something we eat all the time. No. In order to make naan, you have to have a tandoor oven, which is something you put outside the house. It's like having a pizza oven. So we make a lot of other different breads. Most of our breads, I think if not all our breads, are non-yeasted breads. So we don't need any yeast, but that's why we use the hot water to provide that softness. I'm just going to roll it a little bit more. You want to roll it about 2 millimeters thick. So, I don't know if you can see, like that. I'm just rolling out the edges, because the edges always end up being a bit thick. So I've got a square. One day, I'll make perfectly round rotis. Sometimes it happens I make perfectly round ones. My mom was someone who could make rotis in less than 10 minutes. She would make her dough, let it rest, and then she would have them whipped up. So, I am going to take you over to our pan. So I'm going to grab my roti. I'm going to grab you here on the... and we're going to put it on a hot pan here. So it should be about medium-high heat. And we're going to turn it a couple of times, and then we're going to flip it over. My assistant's coming over too. I'm going to flip over first time. Woo. Is this mine? That one didn't puff up as perfectly, but you can eat it if you want.
Some smell?
Yeah, you'll get some, honey. Just grabbing my... Of course, I had to leave my spatula on the other counter over there. So I'm going to flip it over again, and now you can see little brown spots developing. It's starting to cook. Oh, and we're getting a little puff. I'm going to press down the puff a little. Maybe we'll get some more puff action. More puff action. Oh, there's some more puff in there, and some more puff in there. And give it a flip. Oh, before we lose it.
Puffing?
Puffin, puffin. Oh, and you see some more puffing going on. I think this one is not going to puff as beautifully as I would love it to. I'm just going to give it one more flip. Maybe we'll do a little extra. Sometimes it puffs some more when you keep flipping it over. I always notice the first couple on the pan also don't cook perfectly. Whoops. Whoops. I don't have... You need tongs, and I, as usual, don't know where my tongs are, because in my house, things disappear. But this is still just as delicious. You can just let it cool off for a few minutes, and put on lots of butter, and kids love it. You can even put on some cinnamon and sugar on it, and that's kind of like our Indian version of a crepe. All right.